It's so crazy, people so lazy, truly amaze me, but don't even faze thee. You sit there at the table, perfectly able, create your own destiny, be your own chef and see, create the right recipe, use whatever's best in thee. Timing is everything, possibly only thing dynasties made like me put suffering into blame. Invest in yourself or you no one else. Remember that distress reminds us that we're blessed. Couple of minutes, we hope you receive something more valuable than silver and gold, and that is knowledge and wisdom. My goal is to inform you and inspire you to new thought, motivation, inspiration, and aspiration techniques to open up eyes and spark intrigue. My hope is that with this knowledge you can transcend your current conditions. Today's topic, longevity, and as always, I'm your host, Rated R. Remember the name and you'll go far, because the more you know, the more you grow. Longevity. Let's go ahead and start off with some scripture to go ahead and give us a baseline for this. The gray hair of experience is the splendor of the old. That's Proverbs 20:29 out of the New Living Translation. The splendor, the magnificence of the old. The silver-haired head is a crown of glory. It is found in the way of the righteous. That's from Proverbs 16:31 of the New King James Version. Right, so gray hair represents splendor, magnificence, and righteousness, meaning that you've been taking a path that has gotten you to carry on a longer way. Longevity has its benefits. The passing on of knowledge, the overseeing of your family line, the estate, the fortune. More time means more opportunity. You get to look after your family just a little bit longer. You get to have more say and input into making sure things go right and also in the right direction. There is something to lasting it and making it. And even though there was plenty of challenges, being resilient and rising above. The more time you put into something, the better it normally turns out. The longer you cook something, the better it tastes. The more time you put into building a structure, the longer it will last. When you go to the salon or the barber shop, you want them to take their time and do it right. Things that are worthwhile stand the test of time. And you know what life can bring to you, what life can throw at you. To push on during depression and devastation and anguish and disappointment is a noble undertaking. It's brave, it's courageous, not for the faint of heart. Not for the powerless or weak-minded. But luckily we serve a God who has given us power, love, and of a sound mind. This is from Timothy 1:7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear. Because we know who gives us the spirit of fear. But God has given us the spirit of power, love, and of a sound mind. All right? Protecting your mind. Life and love are a battlefield. Only the strong survive, and time will always tell. We often see things that are short-term successes as significant, but they are but pale in consideration to longevity. Metro PCS, which I happen to have, which is a very great phone service, but it's not AT&T. Scion was a nice concept, but it's not Ford. Scientology is cute, but it's not the Bible. Most read, most printed, most versions made, most translated, most spread, the word, the way, the life. Like a great car or truck that just lasts with all the miles that are on them, they just keep going because the owner kept good maintenance on them. Stay true. And there's a lot of men out there that can't bring themselves to get rid of old vehicles that lasted the test of time. Now listen to something very closely, people. Be sure to respect your elders because life does not get easier as you age. You have to adopt more responsibilities, more people begin to leave your life, and on top of that, there's ailments and pain. So respect your elders. Even if you don't understand what they're trying to tell you at the time, respect them. It takes courage to live. And most of you listening are the reason for someone's living. And the funny thing is, and I know we get on each other's nerves. Oh boy, I know that humans can irritate one another like no one else. But at the end of the day, you're the reason for someone's being. The most important investment you will ever make in your life is in your family and in your children. You cannot make a proper investment without having a stable understanding of what you bring to the market. If you don't know what value you bring, then you'll never know at what extent to which you can give of yourself and of your skills. And then you're constantly fighting a mental battle of, am I getting fully what I deserve, or will I contribute to the lowest common denominator? Another thing is you do not eat and think trash about yourself and think that you're going to create treasure. The greatest thing you bring to this earth, this molten rock, this terra firma, is your mind. That's the gem. The more of it you can share, the better. Now, I'm not talking about racial issues and biases. I'm talking about a refined gem that has defined the properties and qualities of learning that it can transmit, and hopefully align them closer to God. The more you can share with your children, the better foundation and advantage you give them. And believe it or not, at some point it doesn't feel like they're listening, but they always are. There are lessons that have to be experienced in order to be learned. But sometimes you need someone who's experienced to shed light on the lessons that can be learned. It is through these difficult times and transitions that the most effective, most impactful lessons are learned. And don't worry about it if you missed the lesson the first time, because you'll hopefully get it on the second time or the third time. I like the way Bishop puts it. He says, if you missed it with Mary or Margaret, you'll get it with Sally or Susan. If you missed it with Mark or Jacob, you'll get it with Isaac. You're going to get the lesson at some point. Within my own family, there's been a big change within our family makeup and how we do things as norms. Things that will bring more health and well-being, which should translate into longevity. Longevity in life is such a valuable resource that you can bring to your family and your friends. If you are not around, what would be lost? What family seeking advice that only you can give would be lost? Your friends are seeking support only a beloved peer can give them. And there's requirements to longevity. Longevity requires eating right, exercising right, getting spiritually connected to the source. It means having discipline, knowing you can't just do whatever you want to today because what you do today affects tomorrow. It means regularly sharpening your mind on a daily basis. I was speaking to someone, and also I'd done some research on reading at least an hour a day. Most of you spend more time than that flicking through your Instagram or Facebook. But just 1 hour of reading a day, that concentration level on your mind, it has tremendous effect on your cognitive activity and maintenance, on the neuroplasticity of your brain. You don't want your brain to start to harden and become set. You always want it to be kind of fluid and learning and growing and adapting. That means, you know what, you gotta be wrong sometimes in order to be right. You have to eat the right foods. And it's no secret that it's not fast food. Vegetables, fruits, fiber, nuts are all crucial for longevity, but this requires a plan in order to do so. Are you not going to do something just because it's hard, challenging, or different? Are you not going to sacrifice the simple so that you can keep your body and mind more complex? What type of example are you setting for your family when you can't stay disciplined eating what is healthy for you? They say disease and body types run in the family, but do you know that also what runs in the family is eating patterns? If you are the one in the family that's going to change the paradigm, going to break the family curse, then you've got to show discipline. Also, exercising 30 minutes to an hour a day has tremendous benefits to your circulatory system, your immune system, your blood pressure, your heart, your lungs, your brain. You got to do it. You got to get up and exercise. You got to make sure you get up and exercise. Where did we get so far off track with this? And how much worse will it get with the advent and induction of more technology into the lives of children at an even younger age? I noticed lately that whenever I go into stores and stuff like that, immediately the parents will be walking around and they'll stick a cell phone in front of the child, and then the child is just walking around aimlessly, as opposed to, as we were growing up, them actually paying attention to you and you kind of learning how to mind as you're walking through the store. Be fully involved in daily activities in your home. Some say the home is the outer expression of the inner spirit. Take control of your surroundings. Never lose sight of what you ultimately want out of life. Go about the business of making that come to fruition. That's going to make you probably happy. That's actually going to bring joy. Each day laying another brick to your dream life. Real happiness is growth. Being in a state of feeling progress. Stop worrying, especially about what other people think. I heard a woman, a good lecture woman, say one time, worrying is like sitting in a rocking chair. You can do it all day going back and forth, but you end up nowhere and you end up exhausted. Especially about what other people's opinions are. Most opinions waver like the wind. And most people are not even happy with themselves. So taking their opinion into account for yourself is counterintuitive. We do get caught up in self-sabotage with drugs and alcohol, like manic depression. We use vices to mask our misery. We use vices to mask our misery instead of facing it. And then all of a sudden, it takes a toll on our health. It takes a toll on our longevity. And what if no one is there with experience for you to glean and shed light on subjects? Most families have reunions and we see Big Mama there, we see Auntie there, so on and so forth. But where's Pops or Unks at? They passed long before their time. Could not their experience and life perspective still be useful and carry great value? If they would have just changed a few ways to which they approach life, could they not have made their survival a little longer, a little easier? Most would say that they did not have the knowledge. And there is some truth to that. During the 40s and 50s, doctors would do TV commercials to promote smoking. What did we know and expect that the harm of prolonged drinking of alcohol would do? Most baby boomers sat in front of TVs and got very little exercising, chillaxing on the couch until retirement, and unfortunately, not good health conditions. See, not only when you eat healthy and you exercise and you get spiritually connected, but you end up saving money. You end up saving money on drugs, doctor's appointments, so on and so forth. We definitely know differently now, and ignorance is no longer an excuse. The science and research is pouring in more and more every day. And according to studies done on centenarians, those that lived over 100, they found key similarities from region to region and from country to country. Number one was eat high levels of vegetables, legumes, chickpeas, peanuts, and beans. Eat vegetables. Eat your vegetables. We've been hearing that since day one, have we not? That is nothing new. No one can argue if you eat more vegetables and fruits, you're going to be healthier. Every country in the world knows that. Number two, low levels of physical activity every day. You need to exercise every day. Those that live into their hundreds have some form of activity or exercising that they do every day. They get 30 minutes of sun exposure as well. Something about that vitamin D, it's able to break down the vitamins that you're taking into your body, and it's good for you. It's actually, sunlight's good for your mental health as well. Absence of smoking was number 3. Absence of smoking. And I know there's a big movement in here for smoking and smoking other things and stuff like that, but it's not good for you. It's not good for you. When your body is coughing, that's its way of saying, I don't like what you just did. Please stop. Please don't do that anymore. Number 4, spending time with the family. In one of my previous episodes, I talked about having dinner with the family and the effect, the positive effect that has on the children as far as their behavior, as far as them getting schoolwork done, as far as just their overall mental health, what that does for them. But it also does something for the parents as well, because children out there know this. As much as you need your parents need you to need them. Number 5, love life and relationships. Love life is important. It's an important part of the mix. It's an important part of the mix. Do not allow your laziness to rob your family and friends from the value that you can bring to them now or in the future. Do not allow your lack of discipline to make you miss out on graduations and weddings, games and events because you were too sick or disabled to attend. Oh, I'm sorry, they can't come to this function because it's not wheelchair accessible. Oh, her levels weren't right, so she's not going to be able to go out to the house today. Limiting yourself. Your longevity is a gift you give to yourself and everyone else. All right, again, thank you very much for listening to the Righteous Teacher Show, hosted by Rated R. Remember the name and you'll go far. Hopefully this information was informative and beneficial in knowing the importance that you bring to your family and the decisions that you make in order to remain going on this planet for just a little bit longer. And wouldn't it be nice to be able to just enjoy life while you were still living it instead of being in pain? To everybody out there, peace, love, and blessings. Came in the game late but right on time. The ship was kind of skewed, so I need to realign. Fate of the people through the word spoke. Those with clear minds and those with the smoke. May the best teach the rest. Like Dubois, never let negativity manifest. You're a star in every sense that matters. We change by shattering the chains that bind us. Put the bull behind us. There's rules to this game, and podcasts are the same. Put the whack kids to shame. Were we all made the same? Special cloth is all I see, and wanting my company. Living lovely is the key. It's really nice changing up the scenery. Thank you again for listening to the Righteous Teacher Show, hosted by Rated R. Remember the name and you'll go far. This is the end of season 1. Please, the more you know, the more you grow. Hit that subscribe button below. Peace, love, and blessings.